Let's take a look down under with this week's Fish Eye View, sponsored by Mercury, #1 on the water. One of the very best locations for perch has always been Lake Simcoe in Ontario. It's famous for both the numbers and size of jumbo perch. This is most apparent during the ice fishing season, where an entire industry has developed around these fish. Decades ago, before this increase in popularity, specimens like this giant 16-inch perch were relatively common in Simcoe. These days, only a handful show up each year, and few of these are actually caught. With the inception of a 50-fish limit, it's become a fillet with the largest possible, while systematically culling smaller fish. Anyone fishing Simcoe will testify there are a lot more small fish out there than ever before, overwhelming the big jumbos. What's happened is the genetics of the entire population has been altered. At the same age, 10-inch perch 30 years ago are now represented by a high percentage of 7 to 8-inch fish. It's a direct result of harvesting the largest fish while returning skinny runts to breed more of their kind. The situation can be corrected by intentionally keeping small, inferior-looking fish while releasing healthy, ego-boosting specimens. In a reverse line of thinking, it's time to reconsider what in fact is socially acceptable. One of the biggest hurdles in ice fishing is finding them in the first place. With steelhead and other trout, being in the current of a feeder stream means the fish will eventually come to you. Even so, getting them to hit is a matter of adding just the right movement. Witness the reaction of this tiger trout to an easy meal of a dead minnow. Fact is, fish in cold water eat less and less often. It takes the added enticement of an active minnow to provoke a strike. With schooling fish like perch, it's either feast or famine. Locating them means a flurry of activity until they eventually lose interest and move on, usually while you're busy landing a fish. With plenty of pre-drilled holes in the area, you may relocate that school. Better to have two anglers working side by side to extend the action. Suspended over deep water and always on the move, crappies are harder to stay on top of, even with the best fish finder. Regardless of what you're after, here's a great ice fishing trick. Send down a jar of minnows. Attached to a rope with plenty of holes in the lid, you'll soon attract fish. Like a cat at an aquarium, they just can't figure it out, and they will stick around. Now, sit back and enjoy the hottest action on ice in your own private hotspot. In Canada, we still have many lakes that support wild populations of trout. As civilization encroaches on these places, catch and release plays a huge role in maintaining numbers of fish. Lacking in spawning grounds, there are also thousands of cold water lakes across the country devoid of trout. Many are now stocked by the government, with all information openly available to anglers. It's a put, grow, and take fishery, ideal for providing trout for the table. Far and away, rainbow trout and brookies are most commonly stocked. Also included are browns, lake trout, and even some exotics like tiger trout and splake. Check those stocking lists carefully. For pan-sized fish, go with lakes planted 2 years ago. For trophy specimens, look for dates in the range of 5 or more years. One of the best times to tackle these fish is during winter. As a matter of fact, many lakes are only accessible at this time by snowmobile. While some anglers prefer live bait and a stick or gad, there are drawbacks to the method. A proper outfit and a good assortment of lures is a better plan. Infinitely more practical and equally effective, soft plastics and organic baits guarantee action on these put and take fisheries.